Hey everybody, Todd Kramer here. Welcome back to Offstage Acting. This week, Jay and I had the absolute pleasure of chatting with the wonderful Kenneth Jay. That's a lot of J's. A seasoned actor, storyteller, and all-around gent. Well, gent might be a stretch. He is Canadian. With a rich history both on stage and off stage. Kenneth's career has spanned decades working with some of the UK's most respected theatre companies. We talk about the joy and challenge of being an understudy, what it means to prepare night after night without knowing if you'll even hit the stage, and how that deep sense of readiness is a craft all its own. We also explore the power of collaboration, identity in performance, and why Kenneth believes that actors are always telling a personal truth, even when the role is worlds away from who we are. There's a beautiful gentleness and quiet strength in Kenneth's journey that we think you'll really connect with. Plus, there's some proper chat about finding longevity in the industry, the gift of language, and yes, even a few good laughs along the way. Try to spot the laughs. Go ahead, they're in there, I promise. So without further ado, let's get to it. Here's Kenneth Jay. Peppy Babcock, that's terrible.
Yeah, I know, you can't do it.
Dirty. It's dirty.
It's not dirty, it's a name. That's insulting to Peggy. Apologize now.
Welcome, everybody, to the Offstage Acting Podcast.
Welcome, welcome.
It's the funnest, hippest, coolest, hottest place to be.
Oh, yeah. Especially
this time of
now
year.
that it's literally hot.
It's literally hot.
Literally hot.
We kind of always keep it hot on the Offstage Acting Podcast. Welcome. Strapless in 2 weeks. Yeah, well, it's Justina's thing. It's on this new app, and you'd be surprised, though. I'm doing that in legs, a lot of legs. I'm doing
So,
glutes.
what kind of a workout is it? Is it like a
You do like a
circuit kind of thing?
Yeah, I guess so, yeah. 15 minutes on the glutes and the legs and, the bum.
Mm-hmm.
And then we switch. And strapless in 2 weeks, and I'm telling you, man, it's effective. I went strapless yesterday, and it looked great. Slinky little number I was wearing.
Can you explain why it's called strapless?
Well, because, you get the nice toned shoulders and forearms and stuff and the triceps so that you can wear a strapless dress and look amazing.
Oh, gosh. You know, how male-centric of me that I didn't even think of. I was thinking, would I use a strap? But it's about
women.
women.
Man,
You know
you're
what?
a misogynist, man. I swear.
I know, seriously. I appreciate this
This
being not
education,
from a male
yeah.
gaze.
Fine.
Yeah.
Because I'm kind of a feminist myself.
Love
So
it.
note to all the ladies out there, just I'm on board. 2 daughters and a trail, a wake of ex-girlfriends and wives and stuff. So makes you a bit. Anyway,
So you're on this. You
that's why I'm wearing this
yesterday?
shirt
You've been
anyway.
doing it for.
I've been
You've
doing
been
it for
doing
2
a couple
weeks. Yeah, it's good. It's good times.
And any so to bring it, have you any acting stuff? Any other I know you.
Yeah.
were
So
doing
what's been going on with you? Let's
and-
talk about you first.
Well, so my non-acting answer to that question is I've started a new daily. I have a chart now. I basically have a daily chart of all the things that I want to be doing every day, and that's really where a lot of my life and attention has gone
That's
to.
great.
Is the things I want to be doing every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I keep
it's
I run a to-do list on my. What kinds of things are on your everyday to-do?
Well, and so they're less of
This ought to
it's
be
less
good.
of a to-do list, and it's more of a just these are the things that little things I want to do every day. So it's basically yoga postures, breath work, meditation, cleaning,
Right,
learning Japanese, voice work / singing, acting / business, and service. Those are the items that are currently on my list, and I don't have to spend a lot of time on them. They could just be 5 or 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Is
Right?
that like
They're all
be in
just
service?
like an act of service,
Right.
an act of it could be donating, or it could be buying someone a coffee, or it could be giving someone on the street my food. It's just something that I'm trying to be more attuned into.
Giving someone on the street your food?
Yeah, I've
Just
never
a
done
guy,
that
like a
before.
random person on the street. You just go, hey,
Someone who
here's my
needs.
food.
Well, to beggars
A
on the
guy.
street,
Oh,
if I have food,
beggars. You just said
Anyone.
some.
I
You
mean,
just said someone.
well, if a non-beggar on the street
If you were
needed food, I
you're
would
walking down the
also
street,
get
you got a
food.
burrito, and there's a guy walking past you. You're like, hey, I want to be in service to you. Here's my burrito. And you're like, sorry, I'm on my way to a business meeting.
Yeah. It's not like I go up to the.
Let's talk about acting.
You're
I
being,
get it.
you're being
I'm just being silly. I'm being
You're
silly.
being a sassmeister.
Sassmeister. What's going on business-wise, acting-wise? People want to hear about the work.
About the work. What am I?
Vertical dramas.
Last week was good. So vertical drama. I did a vertical drama recently that was very fun. A very Zoolander-y performance that I had a great time doing. I'm not going to say the name of it because I'm sure the performance is terrible, but I don't care. It was such a great time. It was 8 days, so it was a good amount of days. I had a voiceover thing that I've been working on today for an audiobook. And actually maybe you could help me with this, is that I've been trying to figure out how to voice like younger, you're a feminist, so you should know this, like voicing younger girls. Right. And not like doing the stereotypical, hi, I'm a young girl and I speak in a high pitched voice and makes me a girl.
That's pretty good.
It doesn't.
Sounds good.
I don't.
Oh my God. You just do a lot of that.
I get, but like in an audiobook, so it's like a kid's book.
It's hard
and there's
in
a
an
lot
audiobook.
Of different
you know what I do? I just soften my voice a little bit. So I don't make it so like a female. I just make it a little bit more like this. So if I'm doing a woman, then I'll just kind of get a light lilt, but it's also just kind of me. Nothing too extreme. And if you're doing a little girl, well, I don't know, but it's just about softening the voice and not putting on like a whole
other character around
femaleness around it. Yeah, it's not, because it won't land, I feel, if it's coming from a man.
I don't think it. I spent a solid 2 hours an hour and a half on it today, like an hour last night, because I'm a bit of a perfectionist. But but then I worry about the other end where like I worry I'm not doing enough,
Right.
But I hear.
Well, that's the problem. I mean, I did a book where I had to do like a woman with a Brazilian accent talking to an American man for like, I don't know, 3 chapters, and it was a lot of dialogue, and
oh my gosh,
switching back and forth. Yeah, it's crazy. And that's kind of where I realized, just keep it a light touch, slight, just so you see that she has some kind of accent. But I'm not going to do, I don't know, Brazilian. What am I going to do?
Yeah.
So just keep it light touch is the best advice, I feel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you. That is helpful.
There you go. See? Boom. You're always learning something here on the Offstage Acting Podcast. I'll tell you what I'm doing, and then we'll get to our special guest, because we have a guest today. Great guy. Wood. He's a long-term actor. Been working many years. Prolific, dedicated actor. So we want to get to him, folks. I'll just let everybody know. One of the things I'm working on is called PunchTrack, and I want to introduce it here.
Yes.
You've heard about PunchTrack, right?
I have heard about PunchTrack. Please.
So what is PunchTrack? Everybody's asking about PunchTrack.
Everyone.
I've heard about this new thing. It's called PunchTrack. Have you heard about PunchTrack? Oh my God. What? Tell me more.
Tell me.
So PunchTrack is a brand new audio DAW, digital audio workstation for all you audiobook narrators out there. Speaking of audiobooks, because we all know that other DAWs are built for, who are they built for, Jay?
The engineers.
The musicians, that's right. And they're not built for narrators. So what have we done? My partner Damien and I, what have we created?
You've created a DAW for
narrators. Ultimate, that's right. The
ultimate.
Optimal
and ultimate. The ultimal.
Ultimate, so ultimal. Boom.
I actually kind of like it.
Coin that. You're welcome.
Ultimal.
It's like ginormous. I've taken
Yes.
It's the ultimal DAW.
It's the ultimal DAW.
For our times. Built by narrators for narrators. It's awesome. You can go to punchtrack.com, learn more. It's in beta stage right now, or beta, as they say here in England. Can you believe that?
I'm sorry.
Beta.
Beta?
Yeah, they say beta.
That's like saying GIF.
I know.
Do you say, wait, are you a GIF person or are you a GIF person? But you say the right answer. Be warned.
GIF.
Yeah, that's right.
I thought so, yeah.
I thought so. If you were about to say GIF, I was about to log off. I was about to say goodbye offstage acting.
Did you mean Jude by? Anyway. So yeah, check out punchtrack.com for all your audio narration DAW needs. What does it do? You're asking, how is it better than the others?
How is it?
Well, you get the text right there on the DAW. It makes punch and roll very quick, very easy, very simple. It's one touch punch and roll. You go in, you start recording. It's going along with you, and then you can stop. You put all your settings in advance, and you don't have to worry about dealing with all the other bells and whistles that they put in these other overly complex DAWs.
That is really cool.
So that's cool. That's cool. It's been fun, and we've been working on it, and we're hoping to launch our first kind of, let's say, 1.0 beta version by 1st of November. So there's that, and otherwise just had some good castings come through, some voice stuff coming in. It's summertime. I did
August. It tends to be
slows down. Yeah.
Yeah, everyone's in France or whatever.
Everybody's slowed down. Yeah, everybody's on holiday. So okay, good. That's banter done.
Banter check.
Check out of the way. Good. That's the small talk. Small talk done. Nice. Right. Good. We did that in good time. 15 minutes. All right. Let's get to Kenneth. Let's talk about Kenneth. Kenneth is a Canuck. Which he had. I called him a Chinook.
Isn't it a Canadian?
And he's like, Chinook? Isn't that a helicopter? He goes, I think you mean Canuck. And I was like, oh yeah, Canuck. It means Canadian. That's our slang for Canadians, isn't it? Our dirty little slang. That's what you
dirty little slang.
I don't even know what it means. Anyway, he's Canadian. He's Canadian. He's been in the UK for many years. I've known Kenneth for a long time. We used to do Nathan's class together. And he's just he's prolific, and he's a dedicated, what I told you before, he's a dedicated actor.
Love it.
He's the kind of guy that just knew when he was a young man that he was going to be an actor, and that's what he wanted to do, and he never sacrificed that, good times and bad. And you got to respect that, I mean, the guy lives. You speak about people you want to give food to on the street. I mean, this is what we're talking about. Because this is the life of an actor, people. Can't hear me right now. Let's watch a showreel.
Yes.
Here's Kenneth.
Ziegler, how in the hell did you know I was here? Bob? It wasn't me, Mr. President.
Bob, he's Bob.
The only other person who knew about this was...
He's been shot.
Oh, David Schwimmer.
Hi.
Here's the Schwimmer.
Oh, what a crazy night. My car ran out of gas.
You gonna order something?
Sure, beer please. One of your finest mass-produced...
Nice face.
Natalie Kendall?
Yes?
We're from British Canadian Airways.
I hope you're here to tell me I can bury my husband.
Richard Kendall's remains were flown to England last week.
What?
Why England?
Why? That's
To be
my
with his
question.
wife and family.
I'm his wife.
Oh, snap.
We understand. But I'm
has a
afraid
better
they were
wife.
his next of kin.
You've made some kind of mistake.
What a noise.
No mistake.
No mistake.
Richard Kendall was a British citizen who paid tax in the UK. He'd been married to Rebecca Kendall for
You're supposed to be
25
watching.
years.
You're supposed to be watching Jay.
Of Emily
Kenneth Jay, not...
will be forever inseparably associated with all that is admirable in human nature and all that is wonderful in the constructive world of art.
Max, ring the vice president. He'll be asleep right now, but when he answers, hang up.
Good kind of comedic timing.
And run in the room very quickly. Sir. Jake, find an English bobby in the village and tell him he's wonderful. Yo. Polly, put the kettle on. And you.
Polly, put the kettle
I want
on.
you to take a dive in the fort. Well, move your asses, goddammit! Let's find a safe place for the president to stay.
We have dropped a single
Very
bomb
good.
on the Japanese city of Hiroshima with the power
Ooh.
of 20,000 tons of TNT.
Who's
The
he
city
playing there?
has been completely destroyed.
Sorry I'm late.
At last.
Publishers paying for prose. You're becoming quite a prophet, Wells.
Now, look here, James. I do not seize upon any wild idea that comes into my head just to be sensational.
No?
I depict the future
Good stuff.
as I think it will be.
But you dismiss God, Wells. Like Darwin, you require certain proof
If God Almighty exists, he doesn't love any of us. I tell you, James, God's a sadist. A man's an ape, not an angel.
I know nothing of God. I believe in beauty and in writing. My God is in art.
I didn't know the wilds of Yorkshire could offer such compensations. What do you find to do in such a place?
Oh, plenty. I'm a vet.
No, I meant socially. I could show you a good time.
Wow. You're married.
How do you know?
It's a gift women possess and men don't. Suppose your wife found out.
Who's going to tell her?
God damn it, not now, Polly!
Now you can take your picture.
Very good. Love it. Kenneth Jay. Let's hear it for him, ladies and gentlemen. Here he is. Kenneth.
That was fun.
Am I supposed to be bowing?
Yeah, accept the applause
Yes.
when you get it. Take a bow.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there's not much room to bow in this little circle, so I'll just do a little nod. You know.
Yes.
It's very good. I've never seen your show reel before. It's excellent. You got a lot of
great.
good stuff on there.
Yeah, it's all my stand-in. I didn't do any of that.
Well, that's all right. Give credit. What do
My lookalike stand-in. He's got a lot of talent.
do you want to give him credit now? You want
Take
to
my hat off.
say his
to him.
name? Well, he's brilliant. So, what is it that you do if you need a stand-in?
Well, I do the face and the voice.
You're just the face. Kenneth, where are you from?
I was born in Ottawa, Canada.
Okay.
And lived there until I was about 18, and then I went to theatre school in Toronto. I went to Ryerson Theatre School in Toronto, and I was there for 11 years until I moved here.
At theater school for 11 years? That's a long stretch.
No, I didn't
Boy,
last that long.
Kept saying...
I lived in Toronto for 11 years.
Oh, okay. That clarifies things. Yes, okay. I thought they were flunking you. Well, you could take the year over again. Yeah, we want you back in the... So what's theater school at Ryerson? Where's that? I never heard of that.
Well, it used to be called Ryerson Polytechnical Institute. It became a university eventually, but it had a fledgling theater school at the time, which was established in 71, and I joined it in 72. So it was quite young. I was also quite young, but
I was being born.
We had some excellent teachers there and some pretty terrible teachers there. So I took what I could from the best, and I took what I could from the worst. I mean, it just, it's up to you what you absorb and what you take away, really. And but I love telling this, that I'm like, how many is it? 2 degrees of separation from Stanislavski, and I'll explain why. My main teacher, who was extremely renowned at the time, her name is Basia Hunter, and she was a student of Maria Uspenskaya, who was part of the Moscow Arts Theatre and working with Stanislavski. So that's about all I've got going for me. It just goes downhill from there. But yeah,
that was the highlight.
Yeah, but no, I got so much out of her alone. She was the person who gave me what values I continue to have to this day in terms of acting, which is basically about truth. It's telling the truth on stage or on film or wherever you can.
Was she just... So she was the girlfriend of Stanislavski?
No, she was... No, Maria Uspenskaya was
I know the name.
A co-founder.
Co-founder,
was a co-founder of the Moscow Arts Theatre alongside Stanislavski. I hope I've got that right. I believe she was a co-founder.
I thought they were partners or something as well, like romantic.
Well, maybe you know more than I do. Maybe you know the National Enquirer version. But,
maybe.
I don't know what their relationship was.
Okay.
No, but
so you worked directly under her. That's great.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
That's really cool.
And
Was that the
And
draw to go to that school? I mean, did I get it right? That
No, the draw to go to that school was that it was a theater school, and I wanted to be an actor.
The only one
there were sort of two choices,
right?
Two choices to audition for there, which was the National Theatre School in Montreal.
Right.
Here's me in Ottawa, which is in between the two cities. So National in Montreal, or the Ryerson in Toronto, and I ended up auditioning for them. Don't know why I didn't try for both. I can't remember. It's too long ago. But anyway, I tried for Toronto, for Ryerson, and when they sent me, they said, yes, fine, come and audition, and they sent me a date and all that, and it completely conflicted with my final examinations in high school, and that which would make the difference between whether I would get a high school degree or not.
Right.
And young and foolish as I was, I put all the eggs in one basket and went to that audition, just blowing off the exams, and God knows where I'd be if they hadn't accepted me.
Yeah.
But they did, and that's how badly I wanted to be an actor. I didn't care that much about going to university. I wanted my higher education, as far as I was concerned, was theatre school. So, and then it was a pleasant surprise to find such quality teachers there.
Yeah.
And I lasted a year and a half at that school. It was a 4-year course. But at the end of the year and a half, it had a lot of growing pains, that school.
Right.
And there was a lot of conflict and ideological conflict between the teachers who were more the method teachers and the teachers who were more old school, superficial, rabbit teachers, if that describes it eloquently.
Yeah.
And it just and there was divided loyalties between the students. Some students wanted to go with these teachers and ignore the rest, etc. It got pretty it was carnage after a while. So most of us left after a year and a half because the good teachers also left.
Oh, right.
And I just thought, well, I'm not going to carry on to the end of 4 years just to get the degree. I thought, what does a degree even mean in acting? I reasoned to myself.
Yeah.
Nowadays, I would say, I'm not telling kids now in Britain particularly to quit theatre school when it doesn't suit them, because now I think it does mean a lot more to be able to see it through. And of course, a lot of theatre schools now, if you see it through, they will help you get an agent, and they will really support you in getting into the industry. And that school didn't. So there was nothing to lose really by quitting. But I would say nowadays it's very important to go to theatre school if you can, and to finish it, even if it's torturing you, as an accredited theatre school, because that will stand you in good stead.
Mm-hmm. And so did I get it right that you, at what age were you keen to, like, you knew this was the direction you wanted to go into?
The first time, the first inkling that I ever had, I was in grade 7, or maybe it was grade 8. I was grade 8, yeah, or 8th grade, as Americans would say. My friend was in the school. There was a school play of Robin Hood, and it just didn't even occur to me to be part of anything like this. But I was walking home with him one day from school, and he had this script, and it was all his lines. He was playing Robin Hood. He was playing the lead role, and all of his lines were underlined. And I looked at that and I went, "Wow, you get to do all this?" And he goes, "Yeah." He was the least likely kid to play Robin Hood. I could have run circles around him, Todd.
Right. I believe it.
And that's when it occurred to me. I thought, I want to be doing that.
Yeah.
I found myself jealous because he was playing a big role.
Right.
And that's when it first occurred to me that I could act. I might want to act. I just thought that sounds like the best thing ever. And but I didn't do anything about it. And went into high school the next year. Saw the wonderful drama club production of Midsummer Night's Dream, and that was just enthralling. I don't think I'd ever seen a show on stage before.
Right.
And saw that, and it was enthralling. The performances were really good, And I thought, gee, I'd like to join the drama club. So the next year, I applied to join the drama club. Now, I did audition, and I did some speech from some serious play about a man with a ghost in his room or anything. This was a cowboy satire.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, they gave me a tiny little part. So I was away. I started. And let me explain this.
Okay.
My part, the play was called The Death and Life of Sneaky Fitch. And it was a satire on Westerns. And my part was to come on in the second act. At the beginning, this was all in front of the curtain before they opened it up. So there's a little front of the curtain, you know. And I come on, and they're playing the music from The Good and Bad and the Ugly. You picture it.
Yeah.
I don't know how well that comes through on a mic, but anyway, it's probably just as well you didn't hear. But yeah, you know the tune. I mean, and I'm coming out, and I'm coming out in profile, and suddenly there's a call from the back of the auditorium. Hey, you, Bill Carter. And I turn around and I face him, and I just start shaking like this. And I said, Rockham, it's you. He says, yeah, of course it's me, you low-down, yelly-bellied, lily-livered, crawling skunk. Draw. And so I said, now wait a minute, I'm going to count to 3. And he starts counting to 3. And I said, well, wait a minute, Rackham, before he cheats, he draws on 2, and he shoots me, and I do a big backward stage fall, and it gets a huge laugh. And I'm there on the floor listening to this huge laugh, and I went,
yeah,
I can get used to this.
You
know, I was hooked. Yeah, I got a reaction, and it was just as if I were a real actor. You know, I wasn't an apologetic presence on the stage, and that was really important.
No small parts.
Exactly. I stole the show.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
Now there's a little side tale connected to that, but well, I'll just tell it quickly now.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
I listened to what's his name? Who played Chandler in Friends. I've lost his name right now. Matthew Perry.
Perry.
He's also a fellow Canadian. In fact, I think he's a fellow Ottawa boy. But anyway, originally, and the reason I know this is because I was listening. This was after he died. I listened to his autobiography. And he started talking about his school days in Ottawa. And, I should mention. Oh, well, no, I'll bring it into the story. Yeah. So school days in Ottawa. And he went to, again, I've forgotten the name of the college. It started with an A. But he went to this college to study drama. And his teacher was a guy called Greg Simpson. And Greg Simpson I went to school with because Greg Simpson was the one who played Rockham, who shoots me down, right? And
okay.
Yeah, and what's the first play that Matthew Perry does in this course? Largely because Greg Simpson, he plays in The Death and Life of Sneaky Fitch.
Sneaky Fitch.
So,
oh my gosh,
this is our parallel career,
right.
And he went on to earn $1 million a week in Friends, and I'm still here.
I think it was 20 million an episode, actually. Yeah, a million. No, it was a million episode. Yeah, it was a million episodes. Right, that's right. No, you said that. You said million a week. Yeah.
Well, I guess so. Yeah. So I think they've shot one a week.
Oh my god! And then the
give me $1 million a week or per episode. I'm not fussy.
Residuals, yeah, plus residuals, plus the.
So anyway, I had like three lines and got shot. The next high school play I was in, I had 16 lines, and I got to shoot somebody else. And so I was going up. I was rising. I was rising
through the ranks.
And I forgot to bring it. I entered the Simpsons Collegiate Drama Festival after that with a play that I directed and featured in called Constantinople Smith, and I won the Best Actor award.
Wow!
And I was going to bring the award on here so I could brag and show it to you.
But you had an award.
You know, normally that would be inappropriate and it would sound like I was trying to toot my own horn. But here, I get to do it. Is that right, guys? I get to do that?
Yeah, this is where all the horns are tooted. If you're going to toot a horn, this is the place to do it. Well, you can send me a picture of it and I will insert it.
I will send you a picture and you can mount it anywhere you want on this page, you know, as a memorial to me having been here.
So people will see and they'll remember
Yes, and in those days I was Kenneth Williams, and that's a whole other story too. When I moved to England, I couldn't use the name Kenneth Williams because it was used up for some reason by some unknown carry-on actor.
Right.
And so then I took my middle initial and turned it into a surname. So that's
we got a lot of that going around. There's a lot of J names that just go with J now, like RJ here.
Like
I know. Yeah.
Jared.
But you don't mind me borrowing it for this hour, do you? Jay?
Everybody's using Jay.
It's fine.
We had a guest on here. We call him Jay. His name's Jason. He goes by Jay. It's just, I think it's a good name.
Yeah.
I think it's a good name. Simples. So
it makes. Sorry, just on a somber note, it makes me think of a great actor, Jay Benedict, who was one of us North Americans here, and it's unfortunately succumbed to COVID. He was one of the first people.
Yeah, I know. Jay.
And but a lot of people know him. I don't know.
He had a big funeral service here, didn't he?
Yeah.
When he passed. Yeah, Nathan knew him. Yeah,
he was another great Jay. Yeah.
North American actors in UK. So what compelled you to come to the UK, and when?
I knew that's probably the most asked question. People say, "Why would you come to the UK from a beautiful country like Canada?" And I mean, I don't.
Then you say you've never been to Canada, I guess, right?
It's a bit like that. I'm sorry, Canada.
Yeah.
In fact, I was going to wear a T-shirt today that said 100% Canadian. My wife wouldn't let me wear it because the neck was all scruffy, and she said, "You'll look scruffy."
We wouldn't have seen it anyway.
No, you wouldn't exactly. But
there's a lot of "I was gonnas" happening in this.
I know, but I mean, I can back it up. I can back it up. So
prove it. Okay, there it is. Oh yeah, it's better you didn't wear that.
100%.
It looks like something you would sleep in. 100% Canadian, like my maple syrup.
Yeah, but I need to nail down our sovereignty. You know,
get it on record now. Before
our neighbors to the south. What do you mean?
Before you become.
Before we are becoming nothing. We are who we are. We are Canadian. Now, what brought me here? It was. I don't know. I suppose initially, I just loved British films. I loved British TV shows. And my grandmother was British. I just became gradually fascinated with this side of the pond, and really hungry to see it in person, to actually, and just photographs of the countryside and all the different varying countryside. I loved all the different accents and all that. It was just such a treasure, a cultural, geographical, artistic treasure in such coming from such a small island. And by comparison, again, sorry Canada, but I found you boring. I think it's the whole thing that wherever you grow up. I mean, I've met so many people over here say, "I can't wait to get away from here," and I'd go to Canada in a minute, and I say, "Okay, see how long it lasts in the Canadian winters," because they claim they have winter here. They say, "Oh, it's winter." I think it nearly went below zero yesterday, and and in Canada, minus 20 Fahrenheit. It was a heat wave. I exaggerate, but you know what I mean. What we grew up with, you'd have to, when you tried to talk, you'd have to take the words. They could freeze immediately. They came out of your mouth, and you would have to fry them in a toaster to find out what we were talking about. I don't want to exaggerate.
Yeah. Especially frying in toasters is.
I'll tell you what.
That's already an exaggeration, but.
You guys can.
No, I get you. I'm from. Let's leave the jokes to us. I'm from Southern California, though, and it's the same thing, and it's a beautiful place. Yeah, I know. I like to throw that around. And actually, people do say to me, "Oh, I'd love to live in Southern California," where I'm dubious to the fact that maybe people say that to you about Canada. But for me, they actually say that. And I say, well, first of all, you're locked in. You don't get to travel. There's no culture or history there. The sun shines and it's great, but it's boring. It's just boring. It was boring for me as well. So I get it.
Too much sameness.
Too much sameness. And you can go across the whole country and it's the sameness.
Yeah. And of course, when you start to factor in the acting, I just thought the quality of acting that I was seeing coming from here. Yeah. I thought in Canada it was very samey and provincial.
What year did you come?
It has improved.
Yeah.
Since
in Canada.
Since those days. And I know a lot of Canadian actors that I hugely admire. Don't ask me to name them. I can't remember names. But people that I knew from back then.
Bill
I've seen how they're
Shatner.
progressed in their work. Well, Bill Shatner, yes, and of course Bill Shatner. And what was the question?
No, the thing is, here's the deal, because
Why'd you come to
Canada has a lot of, America has a lot of Canadian actors in it. So I think what we've understood from Canada is it's limited opportunities as well.
Yeah.
So you've only got a few places to go.
It was then.
Certainly then. I think it is now, because they don't produce Canadian, apart from a few shows and local things, they're not producing global programs, right? They get some movie. You might get two good Canadian movies a year. They put a little budget on it. It's like saying New Zealand in terms of like the film industry or the television industry. It's all produced in Hollywood. And certainly in those days, it was all produced in LA or New York. And if you were an actor, Canadian or otherwise, that's where you needed to go.
Certainly back then that was true. I can't even speak for today because I don't know the scene over there. But that.
Well, it hasn't moved to. I mean, other than they shoot stuff in Vancouver and Toronto and try to make it tarted up to look like New York or something, or Chicago, big city, American city. But nothing's really moved there. If anything, it's moved to like Atlanta and some of these other places, or abroad to Europe. The industry.
We have a bit of a I suppose an inferiority complex historically, because we used to be thrilled if Canada was even ever mentioned in a movie.
Sure. John Candy. Michael Moore. Something Canadian Bacon. I'm thinking of that Michael Moore movie. Or The Strange Brew. There'd be that kind of, like, that's a great movie. I loved me some Strange Brew. The McKenzie Brothers. But apart from that, SCTV and Kids in the Hall, that's the kind of stuff that we get imported, and it's good stuff. But
and that,
you could name,
and that I love.
Yeah, that's good stuff. But if you were to ask me, and I have a friend that's an actor, he's Canadian, he was in a big show there, but it's not something anybody anywhere else outside of Canada would have ever seen. Canada's population is what, 30 million?
Hey, we're over that now. Yeah, 35, I think.
Wow, it's exploding.
And when I left, it was like 20.
Yeah, and that's like the largest. It's also the largest nation in the world, right? Geographically.
Yeah. One thing you did ask me is when,
largest.
And I moved here in 1983.
Yeah, I was going to get back to it. I was going to circle back around. I didn't forget. So Kenneth, so when did you move here?
It was 1983, April 18th.
I'll conduct the interview.
Yeah, I bet you didn't know that. Yeah.
1883?
You asked the questions, yes.
Okay.
I'll ask the questions around here.
Yeah, I'll ask the questions.
Yeah, 1883. That's why I have a gray beard.
Jeez, you came under Thatcher? Was Thatcher here?
Oh, I'm afraid so.
Man, crazy.
Yes. Yeah.
That's nuts. That was a crazy time,
yeah,
83.
Very
so when you... Yeah?
No, I'm just saying, fairly shortly after we moved here, I think, there was the Michael Foote running against Margaret Thatcher.
Right.
It was even, and she won. I think she was already the incumbent. So
you came as a Commonwealth citizen, and you were allowed to stay, for a little while? Get like a work visa?
No, I came because I was married to a British woman.
Oh,
I could have been entitled to live here because of my grandparents, and I went to all the trouble of getting their birth certificates and all this documentation, and we went into the British High Commission in Toronto, and they looked at all this, and I happened to mention in conversation that my wife was British born, and they said, well, stop right there.
Yeah.
You don't need all this stuff. If you're married to a British born woman, you're allowed to come into our country indefinitely. So I got indefinite leave to remain right from the start.
Right.
And so I think I have to stay married to her. Otherwise, I'll get kicked out tomorrow.
Yeah. 40 years later. Jesus, is that 40 years ago, 83? Yeah, it is.
Oh God, yes. 42 years ago.
42 years ago.
42 years, yeah.
So what was the scene like when you hit the ground? You got in here, you're like, I'm an actor. You were what, 12 years old?
Yes,
about what,
of
20?
course.
How old were you?
No, in 1983, 30? I turned 30. 30, yeah.
So
I'm
30
72 now. Let's get that out of the way. No, what am I? I'll turn 72 this year. I'm 71. Yeah.
Here we go. It's already losing.
I always.
I don't remember.
Usually.
Neither do I.
No, I have a habit though of when I know I'm going to turn it, I start saying it.
I do the same. Get used to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. 6 months before I start telling me.
Actually turns 72. It's not as much of a shock.
Yeah, exactly. It's not on the day. You're like, wake up.
Okay.
All of a sudden older.
Okay. Now, what was the question again?
All right. Let's take it slow. We're going to go pace by
pace.
pace.
What was the scene like? Okay.
There it is.
Now, I was lucky because my wife, Jacqueline,
Props. What's up?
moved over to Canada when she was 10. So she had a lot of strong connections in England. One was that her godfather, Jack Watling, was a fairly, well-known film actor in the 50s and film and TV in the 50s and 60s.
Mm-hmm.
And his son, Giles Watling, well, he ran it originally, and then his son took over the Frinton Summer Theatre.
Mm-hmm.
And so with that little bit of connection, Jacqueline and I both got jobs, because she used to be an actor as well. Both got jobs in the Frinton Summer Theatre, the summer rep.
Right.
And that was an experience in itself.
Yeah. Proper repertory theatre.
Yeah, where you're rehearsing one play in the afternoon, and then performing one play in the evening, and then rehearsing next week's play in the afternoon. Mm-hmm. And you had 1 week's rehearsal for each and every play. And it was a lot of fun, but a real baptism of fire. But it got me an equity card.
Right.
So that was the most important.
Got you in the union. It means you can get good paid gigs.
So I was lucky enough to get in that right from the start. And then I did some Amdram in the autumn. That was the summer theater, and the guy who was directing it was also an agent. That's kind of why I did it, and he liked what I was doing and became my agent.
Great.
So I was lucky enough to get those two strong starts, and I'm still with the same agency after all these years. Although he retired. He retired many years ago.
Wow. They still can't get you any work, huh?
No.
Holding on. Keep holding on. That's right. I like the loyalty aspect. I'm just
kidding. Indeed. Anyway, yeah. And I mean, it was a struggle, I'll tell you. It was a struggle, but I was also surprised. Yeah, what?
Can I just interrupt you to tell you that I just booked a gig? I just got an email through. Booked a job. Thank you. Small voiceover.
Can I just tell you that I'm not available?
Nobody. Can I just tell you?
I'm
no longer on pencil for this. Yeah. I'm not available. Nice.
Congrats.
Go ahead. Thank you. That's this is the actor's lifestyle. As we go, you never know when the jobs are going to come rolling in. Anyway, go ahead, Kenneth. I'm sorry I interrupted you, buddy.
I was almost thrown into the big time from the start. Not quite big time, but I'll just tell the story.
How's that?
Quickly.
How'd that happen? I want to hear.
My agent says, "Okay, I got you an audition tomorrow. You're going to be auditioning for Charlton Heston."
And Charlton Heston was going to direct something.
As in God.
Right.
Moses. You want me to go and audition? I was flabbergasted.
You ruined it.
It turns out that he was directing, and
it's people. It's people. Silent green. I'm just doing my Charlton Heston. Go ahead.
No, I didn't think so.
No,
I'm sorry. I'm doing all the talking. I should let you talk more.
It's fine. This is what the podcast is for.
I'm going to go on.
It's not a silent podcast. Charlton, here's the deal. A lot of people aren't your age, Ken. So we have a younger audience. So I'm trying to, I pepper the interview with like stuff in the background. You're meant to just keep talking, and I just sort of fill it in for the youngins out there. Youngins out there. Charlton Heston was in his day quite the famous, powerful actor. Now, boom, flash forward. He's directing something, and Ken's going to go in to audition for the Charlton Heston. Go, Ken.
He was directing the Caine Mutiny.
Ooh, good one.
And starring in it.
Wow.
And this was an audition for understudy for one of the sailors that was being, because it's all about a mutiny trial, and it's one of the sailors that was testifying. So that's all it was. It was an understudy role, and very unusual to be auditioning for the director for an understudy role. Mostly you're auditioning for an assistant director or sometimes even a company manager or whatever,
right?
Just so they can kind of get a short list. But no, and it was great. I mean, I was quite starstruck, because I stepped right onto the stage of the Queen's Theatre, and he sat in the audience. And it's the first time I've ever set foot on a stage in a West End theater. Jesus. And I'm like a year or two in the country. But he came up onto the stage and he gave me some directions and all that. And it just put me so much at ease and made it so easy, made me feel respected and professional. Nice. So I actually got the job, but
snap!
There was an equity regulation at that point that you could not work in the West End until you had 40 weeks if paid contract. Otherwise, you were still called a provisional member.
Right.
Provisional member system is no longer there, but then it was. So I couldn't accept the job, and so here Charlton Heston, Young Actors, was an A-lister, whatever you can list whatever you want.
Big star.
But he was a real A-lister at the time, and even to be an understudy in a production like that in the West End would have been amazing. And I had to turn it down. But I wrote to him and just thanked him for. I said, not everybody who is high profile can make people feel relaxed and able to do their best, but you are an enabler, and that's the best kind of director can be. And he is so appreciated. He wrote me back personally, and I still have the letter to this day somewhere.
Wow, there you go.
Okay. But that was a real boost, and it made me feel.
Yeah, that's enough to give you, because I know when I asked you to come on the show, you were reluctant, and part of the reason was that you said, I haven't had the most stellar career of others, but the fact that you also, in that same breath, essentially said, but I've been dedicated my whole life. There was never a question in my life, I'm paraphrasing, that this wasn't what I was going to do. I always knew that this was what I was going to pursue right up to the end, come hell or high water. And I respect that.
I hear so many actors giving up.
Right.
And I thought, I couldn't do that. I've had some really lean times. I've gone for years with no jobs.
Yeah.
And I literally, and then in amongst that, having a bunch of jobs that were mostly understudy.
Right.
And I'd like to talk more about understudy later.
Okay.
But it was so deeply discouraging at times. Yeah. But there was never a question of, I'm going to give up acting. It was like, I've got to keep trying. I got to try harder. I got to milk everything I can out of every job to use again later. And,
you love it.
I mean, yeah.
You love it.
I do love it. I have no other talent. No, I do, but nothing that I could see myself dedicating my life to. And somehow I seem to be doing that. And it has. I mean, I've had some really good rewards. I think what turned the corner is being able to come on here and have a chance to talk about being committed to acting. It's not like at first I thought it sounds like it's a profile of Kenneth Jay, and everybody said, well, who the hell is Kenneth Jay? But that's not important because it's I'm talking to fellow people in the business. 4 fellow people in the business who are in the same boat that I am, and just how to share how I've coped with it over the years and all the little successes, and failures and all that, and how and I'm delirious at the fact that I'm actually working in this industry still today, and the roles have got better. And the work has got steadier, and I mean, I'm where I aspired to be many years ago. It's taken a long time to get there. I remember wandering around the West End and going, my name's going to be up there someday, and it's come true quite a few times. And these national tours in all the big theaters all over the country, and you know, it's I couldn't have dared to dream that it would get even to that when I came to this country. So I got no complaints, and to get a chance not to be profiled like some sort of big presence or personality in the industry, but just the joy that the vast, you know, the other 95% of us have in working in this industry with all the ups and downs.
Good man.
Yeah, well, that's what it takes if you want to survive. And we've talked about this before in the show. It's if you don't love every aspect of it, including the down times, the rejections, and all the difficulty that we do face. If you don't just kind of love the whole process, it's not the career path for you. It's not the life choice for you.
So
No,
I say to any young actor, you know, whatever you do, don't join because you want to be famous. Because A, you probably won't be, and B, you will just drop like a fly after a while, because what you have to go through, even to work, you know, you may see some of your friends just going straight to the top. You know, they come out of theatre school and they're doing a West End lead and stuff like that. It happens, but it's not very likely, and it's actually better for you to take a little more time. I have known people who've gone straight to the top from the beginning and, you know, fallen and not been able to recover. So
you mentioned the touring, national touring. Tell us about this. Is what kind of made it flagged it for me, because you posted it recently. But you're doing Shawshank Redemption.
Yes.
Second run, huh?
Yes. Yeah. Sorry.
They're doing a stage play
version.
Yeah.
Stage version of the Shawshank Redemption. Yes.
Oh, cool. I didn't know.
You're playing Brooksy, right?
Well, that's what everybody says. They say, the first thing they say is, that's one of my favorite films of all time. And then they go, but how can you put it on stage? Well, it's get easy to find out, because there's quite a few changes made to adapt it to the stage.
Yeah, but it's easy. It takes place in a prison. How's hard? That's not hard.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it is. And I mean, that's what makes it easy in a sense. But there's just
the yard, the library, the prison cell. It's not too hard.
Yeah, but well, I don't know.
He's like, I don't know. I'm like, I could whip it together in a weekend.
I was like, yeah, I got it.
I got this. Some
got
bars. We need some bars.
We just need some bars.
Why they didn't entrust you with it? It's silly.
Yeah.
I feel
tell the stage. Tell the set designer he can contact me.
Yeah, I feel it's pointless to go on stage now with that, because we haven't used your ideas.
Well, nobody talked to me. I don't know.
Talk about something else, man.
All right, let's change the subject.
No, I get to play Brooksy the librarian.
It's a great role.
Now, here's an example. You get to see when I don't want to do too many spoilers, but
we've all seen the movie. I think we know how it ends.
He has an unfortunate ending in where he hangs himself because he can't cope with being out of prison.
Right.
Well, that we don't do because we can't follow him out of prison. So instead, we hear a report of it, and it's a different form of self.
Yeah, you don't have that scene with him. You don't have a scene where you're hanging yourself. That makes sense.
No, everybody says, "Oh, how do you do that scene?" I said, "We don't." Yeah. But but point is, it's a lovely character. They're all lovely characters. The first time we did it, I was a bit apprehensive because I thought, oh boy, 12 characters, 12 giant male egos.
Yeah.
You know, and I was full of testosterone because they're playing rough and tough prisoners. No, it was a sweet company. We all had each other's backs, and we all had a whole lot of fun. There was just very little ego. There was a couple of egos, problems, but I mean, obviously not going to go into that. And they were in the minority. No kiss and tell. Sorry.
Come on.
That's
the goss, girl.
So little. I think I was the main ego, but I tried to keep it under wraps.
Were you one of the few actual North Americans?
Oh, well, that's true. Yes.
Yeah. What's that sound? Is that the ice cream man?
That you can hear that. Yes, that is our local ice cream man who's playing Anchors Away. That's
I used
the
to tell
tune.
my children that when you hear that music, it means the ice cream man doesn't have any. He ran out of ice cream. So they'd be like,
Yes.
"Oh, the ice cream man." I go, "Oh, the ice cream man's out of ice cream." That's the song he plays when he's all done and on his way home.
Wow, that's
You
that's like
lousy
Feel free to
father.
judge however you want.
Lousy
my
father.
mom selling my Halloween candy to the dentist.
She did?
Yeah.
She sent you
was
sold your
the thing.
Halloween candy to the dentist?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
The dentist had a
What
deal
you
where
trade
they would
toothpaste for
buy
it?
our candy and give like some money off
Toothpaste.
our next cleaning. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Really?
Yeah,
What
they're
a
like,
cruel
give the
dentist.
Is this a true story?
It's a true story. Yeah. My mom definitely did
Mm-hmm.
that. Which honestly,
God.
good for her. She, I do not need those sugars. I
No,
did
you didn't
not.
need it. Yeah.
And
But
No.
geez. That's why I did it with the ice cream.
I did learn though. I learned my very favorite candies, like the ones that I actually really liked, and I would take those out.
Mhm.
Right,
Oh yeah,
but I
yeah.
couldn't do all of them because then
No.
she would find out. So
be
I
like,
had
"Wait,
my very.
there's
I
no
would
Red Hots
secretly
in
stash
here."
My very
Fair
favorite.
enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
My mother was actually the same. She didn't do that with Halloween candy, but I didn't develop much of a taste for candy because we weren't allowed it as kids. It
Yeah.
wasn't in front of us. Certainly not, hard candy. Chocolate occasionally, chocolate at Easter or something like
Yeah.
that as a
Totally.
really special treat. But I'd bring home a whole bag of candy, and I myself would filter it. I loved all the peanuts and things like that. Peanuts, potato chips.
Tell us about
stuff
your
like
childhood
that.
a little bit. You said like your parents were from Britain, or your grandparents rather, because my people come from Canada as well. A lot of them.
Yeah.
And Alpena, Michigan. My grandfather was born in Canada. He comes from Toronto and stuff. And I trace my stuff back, and I've got a lot of English and Scottish and stuff back there as well. But I've always kind of been a little bit fascinated about do you know when your people came to Canada from and why?
When they came to Canada, I'm guessing. My ancestral heritage on my father's side comes from Great Malvern, where my great grandfather was a blacksmith, and so was
You're
my
guessing
grandfather.
this? Is this all a guess?
No, that's all.
You said
true.
I'm guessing. I'm guessing he was a blacksmith and probably from Great Malvern. I'm just guessing.
No, I should have finished the sentence. I'm guessing when they moved over.
Oh, good. Okay.
Right.
I thought, man, we're getting into some real.
Yeah, I just made this up.
fantasy there.
I made this up. I said, what shall I make him?
been
A
a while since
blacksmith
I've
or maybe a
Juicy.
a hero of the Boer War? No. Anyway, no, he was
Yeah.
he was a blacksmith, and I've played Malvern quite a few times now, and I
Yeah.
always sort of I'm determined next time I go to Malvern to try to research where his records, town records of where his smithy would have been, and maybe because there's still about 2 or 3 blacksmiths forges there, because they I don't know, work for farmers or whatever. I don't know exactly who they blacksmith for, but I guess it's still a thing, and so it might even still exist.
A lot of my people came from Sheffield, Bradford area. I have some historical records of that, and they ended up in Toronto. They all came over to lumberjacking mostly. There's a lot of
lumberjacks. We got blacksmiths.
forestry
Wow.
work. Yeah, we have real men.
What
men
did
in my background.
what did my family do? They were inventors. I'm just making it up here. They were
Cleaners. They'd clean the blacksmith shop. They clean the lumberjack tools.
Yeah.
And so they should. So they should.
Have you got siblings, Kenneth?
I have 2 siblings. I had to stop and think.
Yeah.
I have 2 siblings.
Count them.
Sorry, I hate an unfinished question. I think my grandparents moved over in the 1910s. Now, sibling. I have an older.
Well, I'm just getting a feel for the family dynamic.
Yeah. Older sister Pamela, and she's 5 years older than me, and a brother who's 11 years younger than me.
Oh, okay.
And they're both still back in Canada. My brother's a graphic artist, and my sister is a retired loans officer. You have to stop me or I'll tell you everything.
No, here's where I'm going with the question, and I kind of ask it of all the guests we have, because essentially, you know, how did your folks feel when you announced, I'm gonna be an actor, Ma? And they go, dear God, right?
They were amazing.
Came out. Yeah, were they?
They were, as I came out as an actor. Yeah, Mom, Dad,
good one.
Sit down for this. Yeah. They were amazed. I was amazed that they were 100% supportive. They always told me, you decide what you want to do.
Okay.
And they paid my tuition at theater school. They supported me while I was there. You know, because it wasn't possible to work and go to theater school at the same time. I did get jobs in the summer, obviously, but well, for the one summer I had while I was there. But yeah, until I could get on my feet in Toronto, which I didn't take that long. Once I was out of theater school, I started getting dumb jobs and government jobs and stuff like that. And then I settled on cab driving, which I absolutely loved. Cab driving in Toronto in the 70s.
I can just see that.
Yeah.
I see that.
That's cool. That's a great job for an actor. You learn about people.
Yeah. Yeah. And you could just come and go back to it when you weren't working and leave it when you were working.
Yeah.
It's cool, the actor's dream job. And
being a cabbie.
What was the last job you actually had? Was that it? Or
job,
actual, not acting job, but job.
Oh God, no. I mean, I've done various things, just stupid things over the years. I mean, nondescript.
Here, I mean, like here in the UK, you work pub.
Yeah, I mean, I did go back to minicab driving, for a while here, which I didn't like. I didn't enjoy. Mm-hmm. It wasn't the same atmosphere, and it was a gruel. And it was at a time when I was feeling really low about my career, and it just made me feel even lower. So it wasn't the same. I sometimes don't know how I've survived over the years. I've done reasonably well with acting jobs, but as I said, sometimes it's just. It used to be a bit easier because you could sign on very easily. I don't know what people do now. I mean, I don't know how easy it is to sign on now. I've been out of touch with that for a while.
Now it's called universal credit. So he means on the dole. On the dole, social services.
Money
from the government when you're not working.
Getting welfare from the government.
Oh, okay.
You don't know what that means?
Social. You don't know what social money?
Government's never. In the new generation, money from the government doesn't exist anymore. I did get a lot of COVID money, though. That was fantastic.
Well, I got that as well. Yeah, because they were flattering enough to assume you would have been working that time.
Yeah.
Otherwise, yes. Oh, yes. This is definitely what I made.
Yeah.
But I actually, in all fairness, I was working more steadily during up until COVID. I was doing again back-to-back tours. Although a lot of them were understudies again.
So are you touring now then? Is your show Shawshank touring?
About to start again, right?
Sorry, yeah. Going to rehearsals Monday for 2 weeks for the Shawshank, and then we have a half a week of tech rehearsals in Windsor, and we open on September the 3rd. And as I say, this is the second time I've been going out on tour with this same show. But only 2 of us are in it from the previous production. Right. Another one is in it, but he's playing a different role. And then...
so you'll have status. You'll be one of the, all these
veterans.
People, and you'll be one of the veterans. You'll have status.
In other words, I could be one of the most annoying cast members of all.
You're doing it wrong.
No, here's what we did.
That's not how we did it last time.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just going to keep it.
Is that how you're going to do it? Because the other guy did it differently, and I preferred that.
Exactly. Oh man, I'm telling you, the temptations will be, because I'm that's my character. I'm like that. I say that.
Really?
To people.
Yeah, you're pretty
really is that
pretty direct.
Really is this?
I mean, I don't want to give you a line reading here, but
oh yeah. Oh, no. I'm. You see,
I was
inside
going to a positive angle, Kenneth. Oh God.
No.
No, I know you were. No, but
Jay's a bright ray of
But
sunshine.
you can see how it can go in that direction.
I see, especially if your character is that, then yes.
Because when my character isn't that.
Not
anyway.
Not the character he's playing, his personal character, his type,
I know.
himself. So do you do a lot of touring theater? Was that the deal? Is that kind of?
Oh yeah, that's been my bread and butter for the last 10 years or so.
Yeah.
Wow,
but
How are you enjoying that? I've never done it in this country.
Well, again, it's divided between. I like touring. That full stop. I mean, because you're getting paid to see this wonderful country that I moved to by choice. And when you asked me, one of the other things that drew me to this country was just the sheer variety and beauty of it in such a small country, and all the different accents and different kinds of people. It's just endlessly fascinating. So, so that part of it is wonderful, and I'm getting paid to see it. I did 2 back-to-back tours that were understudying, and that was less enjoyable than the playing. Needless to say,
understudy. So do you get? Let's break that down a little bit, because you said you wanted to talk about understudying, and here we are.
Yeah.
Do you get a lot of opportunity to perform, or are you just literally sitting?
It depends. It depends on the production.
Do you have to travel still?
Oh yeah.
You still travel and
well, let me
sit around? Okay, break it down for us.
What the understudy always has to be on
right there
on in the theater at the time, because if somebody is suddenly taken ill or doesn't make it for whatever reason, because they're late or something like that, the understudy has to be ready to go on
even during the production.
It has been
waiting backstage for any.
It has been known for a principal character to take ill, or any character to fall ill somewhere during the play, and the understudy has to take over. I've never been in a situation like that, touch wood. But that's your job. And,
how often does an understudy end up playing anything on stage?
It is like how long is a piece of string? On average, it's just different. I mean, I've done entire runs without a sniff of getting on stage, and I've done runs where I've gone on fairly often.
Right.
How long is a piece of string?
Jay's marveling at that little phrase.
In other words, there's no
subjective
definitive answer.
Yeah, that's really good.
But just kind of on average, like, cause again, if you're understudying, it's clear that you're not, playing the lead and you're not regularly on stage. But do you ever get a chance, or is it just like, no, you can forget it? You're just getting paid to travel and hang out.
Well, okay. First of all, sometimes you are. I should point out, sometimes you are playing
something else as well,
playing on stage, and you're understudying one of the other roles.
Right.
That's very common.
Yeah.
And then it becomes a set of dominoes. So you take over that guy's part, your understudy takes over your part, and all that. So, sorry, I've clarified that. And the original question was, it's just, do you get a chance? For most understudy things, you get what's called an understudy run, where they get all the understudies together, and then some of the principals, because some of the understudies are also playing other parts, whatever. They do let you play your understudy in an afternoon matinee, which is usually invited. People can come and watch it for free, and it's usually friends and family and all that sort of thing. Awesome. Can be industry people, but try to talk an industry person into coming and watching an understudy run in. It's not easy. But the thing that I want to say about it is that it is one of the most underrated positions in theater. Yeah. And it's really important to understand that it actually demands more of you than actors who are playing the roles. And not in terms of day-to-day energy output. But, okay, let's say you are understudying a fairly major role. You never get to work with the director. You only work with the assistant director, who holds quite often, it can be more, this can vary, but quite standard would be one understudy rehearsal a week for 2-3 hours. And so it's your responsibility to learn all the lines, to observe all the blocking. Okay, they do go through the blocking with you in understudy rehearsal, but it's also your job to watch the show as many times as you can and observe exactly how the blocking is going, and especially how it evolves, because the original blocking often evolves through the run, and you got to know what's the current, where those other actors will currently expect you to be, because that's what that actor is doing.
Right.
So, and that's all down to you. There's nobody to take you by the hand through that, and you don't ever get to rehearse with the principals. You're only rehearsing with your other understudies, so it can be a bit of a shock, to be playing on stage with somebody you've never rehearsed with. Now, in a few cases, there was one where I was understudying, and it was understood from the start that I would be going on for 2 performances because this guy was scheduled for surgery, and he was playing 3 roles. So I had to learn all those 3 roles, and they were all played with the principal actor, who in this case was Sharon Gless, who was the Christine Cagney of Cagney and Lacey.
Yeah, I remember her.
And she was lovely. She was quite happy to rehearse with me.
That's cool.
Normally, I didn't rehearse with her, but because I was going to be going on for sure. I rehearsed with her, and she was one of the most. There's a word I use all the time in theater. It's called, and film too, I suppose, but most of my background is theater. Is someone who is an enabler, someone who helps you to be the best you can.
Yeah.
And that's true of directors. It's true of fellow actors. It's true of somebody who's going to be your partner in an understudy scene or whatever. And when you find people like that, they are gems. And as we all know, many people are not like that. And you really are. But the odds are stacked against you as an understudy. And you have to be razor sharp every single performance, even though you never get to run the show every day like they do.
Yeah.
So it's more demanding. And so for that reason, there's nothing more infuriating if I'm in an understudying a play, and I'm chatting away with my fellow understudies, and they say things like, "Oh God, I would dread having to go on," and I'm going, "Oh, then do you want to be an actor or not? Or are you just like taking the money and running and learning the lines?" Because the only thing that can make understudy worthwhile is if you're the kind of actor that's just dying to play that role. And therefore you don't want, I can't see how you would be otherwise, because it's suicide. If you go on there and you don't know it, and you're going to make yourself like a fool. That's an actor's worst nightmare, isn't it?
Yeah.
That is an actor's worst nightmare, not to know what's coming next and all that. So you make sure you know absolutely everything to an exaggerated point of view. I always did anyway.
I can see
that. What?
One at a time, please.
Yeah, I know. Has it ever happened to you or an understudy where maybe there was a performance, right, that it's like, oh, we're never going to go on, and then all of a sudden something does happen, and like you are like, oh crap, I actually have to know everything now? Has that ever happened to you or someone?
Oh yes. Because however conscientious you are, facing the reality of actually doing it, and especially if it's a high-profile show with acting opposite a high-profile person or whatever. I was understudy on Death of a Salesman at the Lyric with Brian Dennehy, and I had to play his brother, who's this sort of ghostly brother from long ago. But then Brian Dennehy actually sees him, and they're walking together. And I found out with about 2.5 hours notice before curtain up. And now I know this is a family show, so I won't say the word, but do you know Four Weddings and a Funeral? That's a film that starts with this word, repeated about 97 times. It starts with an F, right? Mm-hmm. And so I'm going around my dressing room going, F, 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 F. It's literally like that, and I can't say any other word because I'm dumbstruck, and then I go, okay, bring it together, bring it down. You know what you're doing. You blah, 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 blah. But there is that moment of sheer, oh my God, it's happening, and that's what is exciting about it.
Yeah,
but
that's what I
the
was gonna
fact that
say.
you have done all your homework is now pays off and kicks in. And just a little thing about that one. This was a revolve on this set. And at one point, I'm walking along with him, and I have to step off the revolve without breaking step. So, you know, if that makes sense. So the center part, it's all flat, right? It's not a raised revolve. And so the center part is going round like this, and then you have to step onto the part that's not moving while casually strolling and as if it was
the same
nothing.
speed. Yeah.
And in understudy rehearsals, they don't bring the technicians in to make the revolve work. So it was the first time I'd ever tried that move, was next to the star in the course of the production. I'm happy to say it was perfect.
Well
But it's those kind of things, you know. So I'm proud to have been an understudy, and there's no shame in it at all. And it's I mean, I could tell you so many stories about the things the challenges that have occurred, but they are, I always said, we understudies, we are the fourth emergency service, you know, because if something's about to go wrong on stage, that's an emergency. And if you're stepping in to make it all be smooth because the real person isn't there,
Right.
So you're being the fireman. You're putting out the fire. You're putting out the panic button that's being felt by the producers, by the other actors, and all that. And some understudies, particularly American companies, had extreme respect for understudies. I found that company was a Chicago company, the Goodman Theatre, and they were doing Death of a Salesman. And we were all treated like kings. And treated on as the same status as the other actors and same as part of the company. I'm sad to say that a lot of British companies didn't do that. You were kind of left to fend for yourself, and that was your responsibility. So I just want to shout out to all understudies, you know, go for it. Absolutely go for it. And you make fantastic contacts. That's the word I want. I was going to say contact.
Networking. Yeah.
Contact. And I mean, I've got I could drop so many names here right now.
Drop a few.
You would like me to?
Boom, drop a few. Go. Quick.
Well, no, I worked with Richard Dreyfuss in Death of Prisoner of Second Avenue, and
that's great.
I'm going to pass this on. Richard Dreyfuss came to. I used to do a Sunday acting workshop with a guy called Bruce Wall, and it was a Shakespeare workshop. And we would have guest speakers now and again who would come in, and we would do all kinds of Shakespeare stuff. And then once in a while, somebody who was in the industry would come in and chat to us. Well, guess who I invited? Boy, was I impressing my friend. So I asked Richard Dreyfuss if he would come and talk to them. And he did. He said, yeah, I'd love to do that. And his advice for he got the usual question, right? What do we do if you're starting out as an actor?
Yeah.
He just said, act whenever you can, every opportunity you can. If you're being paid, act. If you're not being paid, act. You know, do amateur, whatever, just get out there, you know, learn the flow, learn the thing, get seen. And the second thing is be excellent in everything you do, big or small. And those sound like obvious things, but I'll tell you another little story. So I keep diverting, but my son, my younger son, God bless him, Jeff, he had aspirations to be an actor, but he got with an agent that wouldn't let him do anything unless it was proper equity,
right?
Payment and all that. They wouldn't let him do fringe. And let me tell you, I wouldn't be talking to you now. I may well have given up on acting if it wasn't for the fact that I did every bit of fringe I could lay my hands on. Yeah. I went to Edinburgh. I did the King's Head lunchtime shows. All this, not pay as you go. What do you call it? It's profit share. Profit share stuff. Profit share. You know, where I was, and you know, we all know what profit share usually meant. You know, you might get your bus fare or whatever.
Right.
but my agents were fine. You're not doing anything else. And we try and get some casting people in or whatever. But yeah, and then I found the feel. I found the feel of working in this country. Again, I made contacts and just get up, and then you've got something to put on your resume. Okay, right. Maybe those who are reading your resume know that it's fringe. Fine.
Yeah.
I'd rather, if I'm an employer, I'd rather look and say, "Oh, you did this play. Oh, you did that play."
Yeah.
Rather than
busy.
just see nothing.
Right. Big blank space for the last 2 years. Yeah.
And I mean, it's not even snobbishness or discrimination. An employer can't choose you if he doesn't know what kind of an actor you are, or what your experience might be, or if you in fact have any experience.
Right.
And that's why it's hard so do everything. Anyway, where were we?
Is it so going back to the backstage where you have other understudies kind of saying, "Oh, I would dread going on right now." For me, it's even more of a difficult task because you have to be so on the ready, but never maybe going out, right? So the pressure of
every single day,
I could go on any minute now. I could be called in the second act. So you've got to be prepped and ready.
Yeah.
Even if you're not called out. So I can see why it's like, ooh, it's hard enough to step out, tread the boards, spotlight on you when you're expected and that you have to get out there.
Yeah.
But when you don't even know, it could happen at a moment's notice.
Yeah.
How do you, that takes a specific and special kind of temperament to be able to handle that.
Well said. I would say yes. Yeah, I would agree with that. I'll give you another name dropping example. Mm-hmm. It was a two-hander, Donald Sutherland and John Rubinstein at the Savoy Theatre.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just the two of them on stage for 90 minutes, no interval.
Wow.
And
True West?
I was understudying John Rubinstein. Sutherland, usually when it's a big star name, they don't have an understudy. If they can't go on, then they cancel the show and they take out the producers have insurance against that.
Right.
But if I had gone on, and sadly to say I never did, then I would have been holding my own on stage with one of the biggest film stars,
right?
And ever known, and it was a good play, and I was confident that we would play off each other really well because he could adapt, and he had such a love for the play himself. So I had to be 100% on top of it. You don't fail when you're going to go on with something like that.
Right.
And I had
you
to
never
be 100%.
got a chance.
No. You know what I used to do on the Tano? I was just stand in the dressing room and literally play the role every night, hearing the play. Yeah. And I would just talk over John Rubinstein.
Right.
And that's what kept me that sharp.
There you go.
Yeah.
Wait, so would you try to match exactly the person that you're understudying, even in intention?
You do your own performance.
It's a two-pronged thing. You want to be close. You don't want to give the other person any surprises that are going to throw them.
Right.
But one thing I think that would throw them is if you were trying to do an imitation and they'd be going, just be yourself, be yourself.
Yeah.
So it's neither one or the other. You bring your own. You don't bring in a whole new interpretation of the part. Well, actually, I think this guy swings in from a tree branch, but you
totally. But you can do the same blocking, but with a totally different.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You stick to the blocking. I mean, that's very important because it's just sometimes the slightest thing can throw off the main person or the person you're acting with simply because it's unexpected. I mean, and just for a second they go, "Oh, you should have been
bring
over
a bit
there."
Of freshness to the play, though.
Yeah, I would probably end up doing that.
I think there's been some stories out there about people that have kind of made a name for themselves after being an understudy and being. I don't know any of them offhand. Maybe you do.
I don't know them personally, but I remember One Man, Two Governors with James Corden. I think the guy who I don't know about making a name for himself, but he after James Corden left it, he got to play the role,
Oh,
and that
okay.
often does not happen. They will get another name role.
Yeah.
Oh, so
Yeah.
they like the understudy that much, and he did such a good job. They're like, great, you
Yes.
just do
Right.
the role.
I saw that understudy run because another friend of mine was also understudying in that, and he was amazing. He was fabulous.
Oh, that's so cool.
That's cool. Yeah. So there's examples of that. So
And
it
it does
pays.
happen.
Yeah. So don't turn down those understudy roles if they come around, if that's your thing, because like you said,
Yeah.
the opportunity could come from anywhere. I remember that, you know, there's a lot of kind of. I remember a guy I went to university with, theater school, and we graduated at the same time. He's a good actor, and he got into the LA Shakespeare Company. And of course, in LA, there's not a lot of theater going on to begin with, and certainly not a lot of Shakespeare. So there's one big player in that town, and that's the LA Shakespeare Company. And he got in as a ground floor. I think he was 23, fresh out of college, you know, but he made it through the audition process. And of course, they gave him the spear carrier roles. You know, you're gonna, you know,
shaking the spear.
Shaking the spear. 2 years of standing and the one line guy coming in, Melige, you know, and him being an idiot and a young one and arrogant, told him to stuff it. And you just thought, where do you think you're gonna go from there? Of course, he never went anywhere. Last I heard, he's like
Not with that attitude.
No, not. And that's how we start. You know, that's where you start from, and opportunities that come from opening those doors and things. Man, I would happily stand, and we couldn't believe it. It was already huge to get in there, but he was so put off and upset by the fact that they didn't take him into the main company right away at 23 off the street. You know what I mean? Yeah. Just incredible. But that's just a lesson for you young actors.
I appreciate the difficulty of being in that position, but like you say, there's not a lot else going on, and unless you care to try and crack the film business, you know. Right. But no, if he wants to do theater, or if that's
well, in 5-10 years, he could have been he could have been the lead man after proving something. By the time,
from the sounds of it, very few people would ever get that far as being the spear character, and that's what they just spear.
Well, that's where you start. That's just where everybody starts. You don't start in the main
spear carrier,
the main cast, right? You start with these tertiary roles, even, and you work your way up. But anyway. So that's kind of, I think, the understudy thing. It's already a huge thing. We as actors tend to moan, as you know. We all know. So, you know, Moaning
101.
Moaning 101. That's what you do. That's what we do first. We moan, and then we also act.
I think we did that on day one of theater school, actually. Now, everyone moan together.
Here's how you moan.
Yeah.
This
good
trailer
moaning.
and my part is good moaning.
So I interrupted you with a joke.
We complain. Yeah, it's a good joke. It's from Allo Allo, which I was also in.
Yes.
In Amjam. Thank you. But the point is that you can get, you know, and complain about not having work, right? And then you get a job, and then you complain about the job because the part's not big enough, the money's not good enough, the hours are terrible, you know.
You're just a complainer.
And then you come back, then come back and don't work for 6 months, and you're like, I just would take anything at this point. So it's kind of a habit of, it's an actor's habit. Is it just me? Maybe it is just me. No, I've heard
that's why I think it can be a curse if you get a really good role right off the bat. And then you have these expectations.
Yeah,
and
you get spoiled.
You're being respected, you're being valued, and you're getting applause, and you're the center of attention. Right. And then suddenly, it's not so easy. You were lucky enough to get in there.
To be fair, this actor I was speaking of, this young actor, he had been the biggest deal in theater school, right? He was always getting leading man roles in these small theater productions at our little university there in Los Angeles. So he had been, he'd gotten used to that. At the ripe old age of 23, you know. Anyway, it's a shame. Any other great juicy stories you want to tell us, Ken?
Great juicy stories.
Give us a juicy
one. Oh God! it's hard to, they tend to occur in the middle of talking about something else.
Where does Ken see himself in 10 years? What do you want to do with the next 10 years? You're getting the roles.
I don't intend to retire. As I said, coming up to 72, I'll be coming up to 82. There's, Ian McKellen is still going. Yeah, I just want to keep working as long as I can, as long as people will have me. And if that doesn't happen, if it stops happening, then I'm just going to make things, just try and pull things together, and I will never give up until I can't stand on my feet, and then I will do stuff.
Do it from a chair.
Yeah.
Do it from the hospital bed.
It's hard to think that far ahead. It always has been.
But this is the beautiful thing about actors, because we don't have to, because an actor doesn't ever have to consider retirement. There's no retirement age for us. You might just go from playing sergeants to generals you know what I mean? I always say that. Or you go from playing the office boy package to the CEO. No, I'm doing a different one now. I'm doing the corporate one. I did the military before. That's why I said sergeant.
I remember in high school, I
already said that.
When in high school, I used to see these lines here. I used to paint those on my forehead, and now I don't paint them anymore. They're there. And I look at that and say, that was pretty accurate back then. That's pretty much, we did the wavy lines like that. And I think, wow. So, yes, I don't expect to be playing too many young romantic leads, but you never know.
No, well, you just keep playing, and there's more and more roles out there as well. I mean, Shawshank is just one example, but you see a lot of guys, the A-listers who are still with us, they're cranking out roles at 80, 90 years old. They're finding parts.
But I'll tell you that a lot of those people are finding it hard to find work. After a while, the parts start drying up, and so we're always in the same boat. You think that because somebody's famous, that's why you see famous people auditioning all the time, because there are several other they're on a different level, but there's several other famous people that would like the same role and all that.
Yep.
Yeah, there's plenty of old timers out there that would love to work still. They usually end up on the West End doing something.
Yeah, I mean, when I first came over here, I expected the fact that I'm North American to be a specialty that might make the pool a bit smaller for me. I ended up playing British roles far more in the first 10 years that I was here, far more than American. I hardly ever played American, never Canadian. Oh, I did play one Canadian, yes, at Frinton Summer Theatre, funnily enough. But because I could do British accents, probably not as well as I thought I could at the time, but I got away with it.
Yeah.
And I'm actually more reticent about playing them now, although I still do play British quite frequently.
Yeah.
And actually, I joined the North American Actors Association, if you remember that.
I'm with them.
And eventually left it because I worried about being labeled as an American too much, because I could do British very well.
Yeah.
And so I didn't find it made a huge career advantage to be.
No, if you can get away with it, because you're old school, and Nathan also gets away with it, and he still gets, you guys get asked. They don't ask us anymore. They don't need us to play Brits. They have plenty of their own. So I can do it as well. I could play a variety of things, but I often play mostly Americans. Sometimes I get the odd Eastern European role.
Yeah, maybe Nathan gets asked. I don't get asked. I still have to audition.
Asked to audition. Asked to audition.
Yeah.
Nathan has.
No, I don't get asked. I mean, I ask to audition. I'm still very much in that state. I kind of got an in with Bill Kenwright Limited when I did Shawshank. Okay. And then they used me again the following year for 12 Angry Men, in which I should point out that I was one of the very few genuine North Americans in it.
Right.
And who was I playing? A German guy.
Right. Yeah, that's.
So I was playing a German guy, and I did not have chance to use my American accent. So
is that good?
It was very ironic.
Yeah, that's how you say it in the English language. Yeah, ironic.
It's how you say ironic. You can iron with it. I don't understand what it means. Yeah.
Well, mein
I just was
Freund.
showing off. I was showing off my accents.
It's beautiful.
Plenty more where those come from.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Ken, thanks for joining us. Great to have you. I'm really glad you did this. Are you happy you did it?
Oh, I'm delighted that I did it. Because I was my favorite subject, talking about acting to actors.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Talking at actors. Lecturing them and telling them what to do and what not to do.
Yeah, yeah.
And
I think there's
let
a
me
lot
leave
of...
you all with this. Are you really going to do it like that? Yeah.
Perfect. Kenny, we'll talk soon.
Thank you
Hang
so
out for a
much.
minute. And there he is,
Thank
everybody.
You, Todd. Thank you, Jay. Thank you for inviting me. And I had fun. And I can't wait to cringe while I watch this.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of cringe moments. It's all right. No, you were beautiful. There he is, Kenneth Jay. Cheers, buddy. Bye. Yay. Wow. I think there was a lot of great takeaways there, wasn't there?
We did. It was so fun that we ended up getting this is like an understudy episode.
Yeah.
So we haven't had that yet, which
no,
is
we
very
haven't talked
great.
about that so much. No, at all. Actually, at all. Yeah.
No. So and also to quickly interrupt, I also just booked a job.
Good for you.
It was the audiobook job that we talked about earlier. So
was it where you have to play little girls and stuff?
Where I have to.
Good. They liked it.
Yeah.
That's great.
They did, and I actually did exactly what you were.
Love that one.
What you were saying, what your suggestion was. That's what I ended up sending them. So, you were right.
Oh, nice. How did you? Okay.
No. I mean, I had to send it already, and
right.
I ended up on the same wavelength as the coach, the suggestion you gave, which means that you were right.
I was right.
I liked it.
Well, that's.
So thank you.
Very
now
good.
I know what to go through with.
Yeah. Good. Excellent. So we both got during the podcast.
During the podcast, yeah.
We booked jobs as actors. I mean, it doesn't get any more.
Maybe it could be Kenneth Jay.
Kenneth, the luck of Kenneth.
The luck, he's secretly a 4-leaf clover. We have to get him back, and every time we book Kenneth Jay, we end up booking jobs. Let's get it back next week.
It works better than booking a holiday, which is something I've also done.
Don't book a holiday.
Oh,
book Kenneth Jay.
Book Kenneth Jay. It's cheaper. But, book a holiday and book a job.
Yeah. But yes, it was great that we ended up getting an understudy episode.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah. So check it out, folks. Learn everything you need to know about how to be an understudy right here on the Offstage Acting Podcast, where we bring you everything. Acting. Everything. The conversation never ends.
Doesn't end ever.
Neither does the career, apparently.
Nope.
We just keep going and going, like that battery bunny. No, you can work until you're dead, and that's the beautiful thing about being an actor. We'll see you next time on Offstage Acting. Thanks.
Bye.
I had a lot of fun. I'm sorry for ticking you off, for interrupting me, because I when I get into the flow, no one else is allowed to speak. I forgot to mention that from the start, but you weren't to know the rules.
Oh, I know you enough by now. I figured just let me get him started, and then I can leave and just come back like an hour and a half later and go, all right, that was the podcast.
You don't know the half of it. Yeah, I'm known as Chatty Cathy in this family.